This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, vendor management or account payable, we are supposed to start. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So in vendor management or accounts payable, this is one of the sub modules within finance and controlling module. Basically, it is a finance module. Okay. See, so far, whatever we have seen, we have discussed something about general ledgers, right? Salary GL account, cash GL account, right? So the part which we have seen so far comes under general ledger submodule. What I mean to say is each and every module divided into some divisions, and each division of module is called as submodule technically. That you know it because your work PS.
Yeah.
Right. So likewise in finance we have general ledger as one part, vendor management or accounts payable as one part. Similarly, accounts receivable is another part, taxation is another part, asset management is another part. So within FI has been divided into, it has been segregated into different parts, different sections, and each division or each section is called as submodule. So now we are going to do the next module, that is vendor management or accounts payable module. Okay, right. So basically, you know vendor. Who is a vendor?
Maybe third party or the person purchase.
Yeah, maybe third. Some extent
Exactly.
you are right, but from finance point of view, who is a vendor? Vendor technically accounts language. In finance language, we call him as creditor. We call him as creditor. CREDIOR. Okay.
Sorry,
So
your voice is
vendor
not
or creditor,
clear.
both are. How about now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Fine. So in accounts point of view, accounts terminology, vendor is nothing but creditor. So in accounts payable module or vendor management submodule, to see is going to look into the procurement scenarios. That means when we procure a material from outsider, which we call as vendor, basically who is a vendor? Vendor is a person from either we buy the material or we buy the service. Okay, when we buy the material either credit basis or cash basis, or when we buy the service, when we receive the service either on cash basis or credit basis, the person for whom we are buying material or the person from whom we are buying the service is called as vendor. So when we buy the material or when we buy the service from a vendor, how this related transactions will be processed into the system. And to process the vendor related transactions, what are all the configuration settings we require, and what is the importance of various things from accounts payable and vendor management point of view. All those things will be studied, all those scenarios will be studied under the vendor management or accounts payable module. So basically from finance point of view, as it is a submodule in finance module, we study procurement scenarios in vendor module. Procurement scenarios mean when we procure a material or when we do some purchases from the vendors, from the creditors, how do we process vendor invoice, which we call it as purchase or incoming invoice, and when payment is made to the vendor, how that payment shall be made, how payment made to the vendor will be processed in SAP system, and when we make the payments, if we make the payments at discount, how that discount shall be captured into the system, and how various reports related to the vendors will be made along with the taxes, without taxes, we will be seeing
Jay, actually,
in.
your voice is breaking, so it's not very much clear. I'm not sure whether it's issue from my
How
side.
about now? My net is very speed actually. Can you check out
Now
your
it's,
net speed?
yeah, it's fine. Just
Okay, now how about now?
Yeah, now it's
Yeah,
fine.
is it? Yeah, fine, right. The point here is how a vendor invoice, how vendor related transactions or activities with respect to the business will be processed in the system. And to process vendor related scenarios, what are all the configuration or backend settings are required? All those things will be studied under the head vendor management or accounts payable module. So basically, who is a vendor we need to understand. In accounts point of view, I mean to say finance point of view, to simplify concept of vendor, in accounting language the same vendor will be considered as a creditor. Basically, the general meaning of vendor is a person from whom business will either procure the material or procure or reuse the services for which business has to make the payments. So this end procurement scenario of material or any other things, or procurement scenario of service, will be covered under vendor management or accounts payable submodule. Okay, right. So for this, what are all steps we require, and how vendor transactions will be processed in the system? Let's try to look into this. Okay, so please take point, some theoretical points. Number one, write them as it is, please, before we look into the configuration part of management. Yeah, points. Vendor in simplified terminology of accounting is known as creditor. Creditor. Second point. Second point. Vendor is a person from whom either material will be purchased or services will be purchased by the business. Next point. Vendor is a person to whom business has to pay. Business has to pay amount for the purchases, public procurements done. Procurements. Next point. Under this submodule of vendor management, entire procurement scenario that is procurement of either services or goods, comma invoice processing of procurements and processing of payments, processing of different payments made to the vendors will be seen. In a nutshell, I'm giving you the overview of vendor management in theoretical points. Okay. Next. Also this submodule covers configurational settings which are required to understand and process procurement scenario. So this is a brief theoretical concept that will be covered under vendor management. Just for looking sick, it looks like only 5 points. But to cover these 5 points completely, it will be around 12 to 15 sessions to complete entire vendor management. Okay, so let's start our vendor management accounts payable module with a starting point. Okay, so in this, take now. Yeah. So basic settings, take the subtopic as basic settings under vendor management. Basic settings under vendor management. Basic settings under vendor management. Settings or vendor management. In this step number one, take step number one as, see, before giving you the steps, see, remember one thing please, whatever the step descriptions having in each every class, step description is very, very important to understand. Just by understanding description, you will understand the concept like anything. Okay, so don't look step just as a description. Try to understand the concept by understanding the description. Okay, right? Because understanding the step description will give you a lot of information and will give you a lot of knowledge. Okay, so be focused. Step number one, create oblique define vendor account group using OBD3. Create / define vendor account group using OBD3. This is the starting point of vendor management configuration. Please do remember, I would like to emphasize one point with respect to step number 1. It has a lot of importance. There were many situations, interview, especially for freshers. Okay, if there are any vacancy for freshers, for consultants, there is an highest possibility for asking a question stating that by the interviewers, what would starting point in vendor management configuration? They will ask questions, what be starting point when you want to configure vendor management in SAP system? Then your answer must be vendor management configuration will start with defining vendor account groups. It always starts with defining vendor account groups. Please do remember it very well. Okay, now before we look into the system how to create a vendor group, try to understand what is a vendor account group basically. Any idea? So far we discussed the vendor. Okay, we have understood very well that vendor is a person who from whom business will material or will procure the raw material, and for that procuring the raw material or services, vendor will be paid. Business with the amount to the vendor. That is what is the meaning of the vendor. But what is vendor account group answer? Why do we need to maintain or define or create vendor account groups in the system? Any idea? Vendor account group, you must have heard about that. Must be, I can expect answer from Miraj. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, Miraj, did you get my question, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my question is vendor account group. Any idea? Have you ever heard about this word?
An account group where all the vendors are
Hmm.
available.
Excellent, sir. Very good, very good. It's an account group where all the vendors are available. Almost you have reached to 60 to 70%, Miraj. Very good, sir. Okay, let me explain something more about vendor account group. And basically, what is an account group and why do we need to get vendor account group? So let me take an example, please. Assume that we have all completed intermediate. Just like real life example I'm trying to give you. We have completed interview and take admission into undergraduation, UG. When you continue our education at undergraduation level after completing intermediate, when we want to take admission to UG undergraduate, the degree, basically we have different options. Like we get admission into SC group, that is science group. We can get admission into BCom. Okay, we can get admission into CA or like that. Everything is education only. But why do we have different categories like BCom, BSc, like that? Science, maths, commerce, we have different categorization, right? Take any, you take admission into any course, you will be considered as a student only. But when we want to specifically mention which category of student is that person, whether he belongs to commerce, whether he belongs to science, whether he belongs to maths. So to categorize the students, courses have been developed. Person who is doing undergraduation, who is going for education in commerce side, he will be considered as a BCom candidate, Bachelor of Commerce. The person who is getting who has taken admission into the student who has taken to science, he will be categorized under group, he will be recognized under Bachelor of Science, BSc. You have maths, physics, like that, you have segregations. Similarly, when you talk about the vendors, assume yourself as a business organization and you are in need of a material. Assume that yours is a manufacturing organization. you are manufacturing some cars or whatever, you assume your own product. So to manufacture the products, to manufacture the end product, you need some material which we call it as either raw material or finished material or part finished material. That material has to be procured from the market. That material has to be procured from the market means from whom we procure? From the firms, from the individuals, or from the companies. Okay, so whoever it may be, he will be called as a vendor. When we try to procure the material from the vendor, that vendor may be a wholesaler, that vendor may be a retail vendor, that vendor may be a distributor, that vendor may be a company which has originally manufactured that require raw material for us. Getting my point? When I want to, as a business manufacturing organization, as a manufacturing company, I am trying to produce some, let me say, I'm trying to produce, I'm manufacturing some cars for which I require different raw materials. Okay, whatever the raw material which I require, I'll be either I can from the company which is originally manufacturing, or I can purchase distributor of that material, or I can purchase from the wholesaler, or I can purchase from the retailer. So depending upon my requirement, I will purchase from the different people. Okay, so whether I purchase from the original manufacturer, or from the wholesaler of material, or distributor of that material, or retailer of that material, all those parties will be considered as vendors only. Okay, but that vendors, though I am calling them as vendors, though I am calling them, though I am treating them as vendors, but they are different category of people. Okay, company, my vendor may be a company. Company can't be a distributor, distributor can't be an wholesaler, wholesaler can't be a retailer, but all are vendors. Are from all I can get the material, from all I can purchase the material. So different categories. Wholesalers is a different vendor account group, retail different vendor account group, distributors different vendor account groups. So to identify a particular within the system, that that particular vendor is related to which category, wholesale vendor or retail vendor, or whether he belongs to distributors category, or whether he is a direct manufacturer of material or that particular service. So to categorize a vendor, we need to create vendor account groups in the system. So what exactly vendor account group speaks, what vendor account group explains to the system, to the SAP system? So basically, vendor account group will explain about the category of the vendor, whether it's an wholesaler or retailer or original manufacturer or distributor, is whether the vendor is related to procure, related to material only, or that vendor is related to services only, whether that vendor provides only services, or whether that vendor supplies or provides material also, or provides both material as well as services. So what kind of vendor is that particular vendor will be explained by vendor account group. Getting point clearly? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So now let us see how to configure, how to create, how to maintain this vendor account group in the system. Okay. So please take down the path. It is SP access. We are looking into first step number 1, that is create define vendor account group using OBD3. So please take down the number. So path, it's SAP easy, then SPRO presenter, press excuse me, SAP reference IMG, SAP reference IMG, SAP reference IMG, then financial accounting, SAP reference ING, then financial accounting. Please do it. financial accounting. Then accounts receivable and payable, accounts receivable and accounts payable, accounts receivable and accounts payable, accounts receivable, accounts payable. Then vendor accounts, vendor accounts, vendor accounts, then master data, master data, master data, master data, master preparations for creating vendor master data. Write down very carefully, please. Preparations for creating vendor master data. Preparations for creating vendor master data. Then define account groups with screen layout vendors. Define account groups with screen layout vendors. You can see the code over the last 4 digits. Define account groups with screen layout vendors. Define account groups with screen layout vendors. So click on this clock icon just inside define account groups with screen layout vendors. Click on this clock icon. Then click on new entries. Click on new entries. Click on new entries. It will come. Please do wait. Yeah, click on new entries here. You can see here new entries. Then account group. See, account group. It's a 4-digit alphanumerical code. Then maximum is 4, minimum you can maintain. Okay, but it should be 0 digits. It must be minimum 1, maximum is 4. So it's an alphanumerical code. You can use 4 alphabets or 4 numbers or combination. So for my easy remembrance sake, I'm using MMI1. MMI1. New MMI1, sir. When you are practicing, you can give your own code. Next, name. Name is nothing but a description. So just I'm giving wholesale vendors group. Wholesale vendors group. Wholesale vendors group. Wholesale vendors group. That means I might be having different vendors under this category. Whole vendors group. So suppose if I am dealing with 10 different vendors who are wholesalers, all those wholesalers will come under this particular head, will be represented in the system, will be pulled up the system in this particular vendor account group called wholesale vendors group. Then click on save. Click on save. Click on save. Press enter. Press enter and get the message. Get the message. Data was saved. Click on save. Press enter and get the message. Data was saved. Next step number 2. Step number 2. Step number 2. Please note, create number ranges. Create number ranges. Step number 2. Create number ranges. Number range or ranges, anything, for vendor account group or vendor accounts simply using XKN1. Create number range for vendor accounts using XKN1. Create number range for accounts using XKN1. Please take down the part. Show path, and I will show you how to maintain or how to create number ranges for vendor accounts. Why we need to create this step, I'll explain after a few steps. If I explain right now, you don't understand why this step has to be done. Okay, so practically, I'll show you the purpose of particular step number 2 after few steps. So please take down the path. SAP Easy Access. SAP Easy Access. SPRO. SPRO. Presenter. SAP reference IMG. SAP reference IMG. Then financial accounting. Accounts receivable and accounts payable. Simply you can write it as AR and AP. AR and AP in a short. Accounts receivable and accounts payable. Then next, vendor accounts. Vendor accounts. Then master data. Then preparations for creating vendor master data. 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 Then create number ranges for vendor accounts. Create number ranges for vendor accounts. You can see the transaction code, T code, XKN1, last 4 digits. Create number ranges for vendor accounts. So click on the clock icon of the create number ranges for vendor accounts. Click on this create number ranges for vendor accounts on the clock icon. Click on change intervals icon. Click on change intervals icon. Change intervals icon. Click on insert interval here on the top left. Click on insert interval. Just a second, please. click on insert interval icon, click on insert interval icon, give the number. You can give any 2-digit number. It can be alphanumerical or number, whatever it is. So just I'm giving for my easy remembrance sake. And from number, if you want, you can give the from number manually. And if you don't want to take risk, click this drop down button. System will give you the number, available number. They have used so many numbers, so many number ranges in previous batches. It by clicking on this drop down button, system will give me the immediate next available number. So the number, the 2-digit code, any 2-digit code you can give. You can give 2 numbers or 2 alphabets or 1 number, 1 alphabet, either way. Okay. Then from number, click on this drop down, click on the drop down button. Right. So double click on from number. Write down carefully. Double click on from number. I repeat once again. Double click on from number of first number range. First number range. I repeat. Double click on from number on first number range by the system. Displayed by the system. So I'm double clicking on right now. Double clicking. Then next 2 number. You can keep the 2 number as it is. Whatever the 2 number given by the system, you can keep it as it is, or else you can change. So just I'm changing the 2 number. So just I'm giving 1119400. 1119400. You can give your own number, but it must be 2 number must be higher number. After giving number, press enter. Click on save. Click on save. Ignore the message. Ignore the message. Press enter. Ignore the message. Press enter and get the message. Changes have been made. Get the message. Changes have been made, or changes were made. The changes were made or saved. See, this is the number range we have created. Number range variant is MM is a variant. We call it as a variant, 2-digit code. Next step, step number 3. Assign importance, very important. Step number 3, but configuration setting wise it is easy step, very simple step. Conceptually very important. So keep star mark. Step 3, assign number range mm. Just now we have created in step number 2, assign number mm to vendor account group MMI1. This vendor group MMI1 we have created step number 1 to represent wholesale vendor group. I repeat, assign number range to vendor account group MMI1 using OBAS. Please take down the path. SAP Easy Access. SAP Easy Access, SPRO, SPRO, press enter, enter, click on SAP reference IMG, click on SAP reference IMG, then financial accounting, then accounts receivable and accounts payable, accounts receivable and accounts payable, accounts receivable, accounts payable, then vendor accounts, vendor accounts, vendor accounts, vendor accounts, then master data, then preparation for creating vendor data, preparations for creating vendor data, preparations for creating vendor master data, then assign number range to vendor account groups. You can see here, assign number range to vendor account groups. You can see transaction code BAS at the end. Assign ranges to vendor account groups. See, configuration path is almost same for step number 1, 2, and 3. I'm giving you every time the path so that you can remember when you are practicing. Without seeing the notebook, you can do that. The reason. So assign number ranges to vendor account groups. So click on this clock icon. Assign number ranges to vendor account groups. Click on this clock icon. Click on position. Click on position. Here you can see the position. Give the vendor account group which we have created in step number 1. Give the vendor account group which we have given in step number 1, that is MM1. Give the vendor account group MMI1. Press enter. Here you can see the number range column. In this number range column, you give the number range MM which we have created in step number 2. So give MM, number range MM, against the vendor account group MMI1. MMI1. So click on save. Click on save. Enter. Press enter and get the message data was saved. And get the message data was saved. Data was saved. Next step. Step number 4. Step number 4. Create purchases GL account. Nothing but procurement GL account. Why I'm using purchase means purchase is a pure accounting term, whereas procurement is a generic term. Okay, so create purchases GL account under the account group expenses under the account expenses using what is the transaction code for creating GL, general ledger account?
FS00.
Excellent. FS00. 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 Just for a while, I'll stop sharing my screen. It. Okay. So create purchases GL account under the account group expenses using FS00. Right. So you know the path for FS00 already. I have given sessions. So actually I'm going with the code. So do FS00 in the command box. FS00 in the command box. Press enter. Press enter. Click on expenses account group. Click on expenses account group. Even if you do not click also doesn't matter, but if you click, if you expand your account group, you will have some flexibility, you will have some convenience. Okay, what is convenient you will understand. I repeat once again, give FS00 in the command box, press enter, expand the expenses account group, click on create, give the GL account number. See, already we have created rent GL account, salaries, and for rent we have assigned number 3,01,000 and for salaries we have assigned 3,02,000. Again, I should make use of 3,01,000, 3,02,000. They are already reserved, they are booked. So the immediate next available number I can use 3,00,000 series under the account group expenses. So by expanding the expenses account group, we will know which number is available in the expenses account group. So by expanding, now I can come to know that 3,01,000, 3,02,000 are already we have used those numbers. The next available number is 3,03,000. So just giving 3,03,000, 3,03,000. You can give 3,04,000 as well, no problem. Then click MMI1, press enter, account group, select expenses account group, select expense account group, then short text, purchases account. It can be purchase of material or purchase of services, whatever it is. Then GL account long text, purchases account, control data tab, click on control data tab, select line item display checkbox, then sort key. Earlier we were using 001. Now let me use the different sort key, which is a relevant sort key. You can use 00 as well, but I don't want to use 001. Rather, I want to use vendor related. So just I am mentioning 012. 012. So give article 012. Click on create bank interest tab. Click on create bank interest tab and give the field status group G001. Give the field status group G01. Click on save. Click on save. Get the message data was saved. Get the message data saved. Data saved. Next step, important step number 5. It's too important, please. Step number 5. Create vendor reconciliation GL account. Create vendor reconciliation GL account. It is a GL account only. Let me explain. What are the points I give you right now? Remember them as it is. Don't try to know why they are called like that. Okay, it's not the right time to understand them. If you try to understand them, you will be confused. Whenever time comes, I explain. Again, I'll come back to the relevant step and again I'll explain. Okay, yeah. Hello?
Your voice is echoing.
Please. How about now? Is it clear now?
Still the same.
Still the same? Let me check my volume. How about now, Miraj?
No, sir, still echoing.
Hello? It is echoing. Everything looks
I
good.
mean, I can hear it properly.
Okay. One second. Yeah. How about now? Am I audible, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. So please do remember, for conceptual point of view, GL accounts are of two types. Basically, normal GL accounts category. Second category is reconciliation related GL accounts. Normal GL or regular GL accounts or non-reconciliation GL accounts. I repeat once again, GL account types basically in general, normal GL accounts or regular GL accounts or non-reconciliation GLs. This is first category of GL accounts. Second category is reconciliation GL accounts. Okay, see, whatever the GL accounts so far we have created in the system, like rent GL account, GL account, purchases GL account, coming to the asset GL account, cash GL account, and GL account, whatever the 5 GL accounts which I have created under the account company code MMI1 under accounts, assets, and expenses, they are normal GL accounts, regular accounts, routine GL accounts, non-reconciliation GL accounts. These non-reconciliation GL accounts are regular GL accounts will be used by the users while processing transactions. while processing the transactions, end users will use GL accounts which are non-reconciliation GL accounts or regular GL accounts or normal GL accounts. Whereas when it comes to the second category of GL accounts, non-reconciliation GL accounts, non-reconciliation GL accounts are those GL accounts will not be used, which will not be, please listen to my explanation carefully, which will not be used by end users while processing business transaction to SAP system. Rather, system will use those GL accounts for updating the information in the data of the system. I repeat once again, non-reconciliation GL accounts are those GL accounts which not be used by the end users while processing the transactions. Rather, system will use GL account automatically to update the relevant data at relevant places so that management will be able to generate the reports. Okay, so this is what you have to remember for the time being. Points are, I'll repeat, GL accounts are of two types. Normal GL accounts or regular GL accounts or non-reconciliation GL accounts, and the second category is reconciliation GL accounts. Normal GL accounts or routine GL accounts or regular GL accounts or non-reconciliation GL accounts are those GL accounts which will be used while processing the transactions into SAP system. Whereas reconciliation GL accounts which will not be used by the end users while processing the transactions. Rather, system will use those GL accounts to update the data at relevant places, times, wherever required. Okay, so that is what you have to remember. If you want, I can give you the theoretical points, but before giving the theoretical points, let us completely take the description of the step. So create vendor reconciliation GL account under the account group liabilities using FS00. Using FS00. Here, take down the points which I have explained theoretically now. Point number one. GL accounts are of types, or of two types, or of types. Okay, types. Regular GL accounts are normal GL accounts or routine GL accounts. Routine GL accounts or non-reconciliation GL accounts. Non-reconciliation GL accounts. Please do remember that this kind of explanation will not be available in books or in the materials. Okay, these things we have to understand from the experience only. Okay, right. Next, B, second type, reconciliation GL accounts. Reconciliation GL accounts. So point number 2, regular GL accounts are those GL accounts which will be used by the end users while processing the business transactions while processing the business transactions into the system. Next point, reconciliation. GL accounts are those GL accounts which will not be, please underline, which will not be used by the end users while processing the business transactions into the system. Rather, system will use those GL accounts to update the required information with which reports will be generated. Which in turn will be used for analysis purpose. So now let us see step number 5. Create vendor account group. Create vendor reconciliation GL account under the account group liabilities using FS00. So give FS00 in the command box. Click on create. Liabilities we take 2 lakhs. So just I am taking 2 lakhs 3. You can take any number available in the 2 lakh series, which has been defined for liabilities account group. So 2 lakh 3. Give the company code MMI1. Press enter. Give the account group. Select the account group liabilities. Select balance sheet radio button. Select balance sheet account radio button. Then give the short text. I'm giving the short text as sundry creditors. CRS stands for creditors. Sundry creditors. Credits is nothing vendor. As I was mentioning, creditor is nothing vendor. That is a pure generic term, whereas creditor is a pure accounting terminology to represent the vendors. So long description, sundry creditors account. Select balance sheet account, radio button, give the text, give the long text. Click on control data tab. click on tab. Important point here is you can see here recon account for account type, nothing but reconciliation account for account type. It should be read as reconciliation account for account type. So click here, select vendors. Select vendors. Different accounts will be there. One category is vendors, another category is customers, another category is assets. Likewise, so by giving account type here, system will understand that this GL account is not a regular GL account, it not a normal GL account. It system understands that it is a reconciliation account. So for reconciliation account for account type, select vendors, and select line item display checkbox. Line item display checkbox. Sort key. Give this sort key 012 vendor number 012. You can take any sort key. Posting date. You can take document date. Any key you can. But while taking, relevant one must be taken. So vendor number I am taking sort 012. Then click on create oblique bank oblique interest tab. Click on create bank oblique interest tab. Then field status group. Field status group. Earlier we were giving G double for all, but for this, for to represent for all reconciliation accounts, SAP has a standard status group with a code G067. Use that G067. So give G067 field status group. Status group G067. It is related to reconciliation GL accounts. So click on save. Click on save. Get the message data saved. Get the message data saved. Get the message data saved. Next step. Create step number 6. Step 6. Create vendor master. Create vendor master data. Create vendor master data using FK01 or XK01. Create vendor master data using FK01 or XK01. FK01, XK01. Vendor master data is nothing but maintain the details of the different vendors with whom we transact, from whom we purchase the services. So maintaining the details of each and every vendor in the system is called as vendor master maintenance. Okay, suppose we are dealing with 10 kinds of vendors. So 10 kinds of 10 different vendors data shall be maintained in the system. For each vendor, system will create a code, system will assign a number, system will generate a number, and with that number, individual vendor will be identified in the system. Okay, so with how many number of vendors we deal with, all those vendor details has to be stored in the system, has to be maintained in the system. So as and when we maintain the details of the different vendors, for each every individual vendor, system will assign one number, and with that number, vendor will be identified in the system, and the transactions related to a particular vendor will be processed into the system using the number assigned by the system. Okay, so let us try to maintain vendor master. I'm trying to create one particular vendor, one single vendor. Okay, choosing either FK01 or XK01. Take down the path, please. SAP Easy Access, SAP Easy Access, SAP Easy Access, accounting, not SPR, please. Accounting, financial accounting, financial accounting, accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, accounts payable, master records, master records. Then double click K0 create, double click on FK01 create. Now when you creating vendor master or maintaining vendor details in the system through FK01 transaction code. There is another transaction code, as I have mentioned in this description, XK01. This transaction code, create vendor master using XK01. I'll explain you when I teach you integration model with the material management module. Okay, so for time being, till the point we will use FK01. So double click on FK01, create, double click on this, write down very clearly, I double click. So double click FK01. Observe the description, please. Create vendor accounting. Here you can see the message. Create vendor accounting. Bottom left side. So here, vendor, system is saying vendor, don't give anything in this field. Then company code MMI1, our company code. Give the company one. Then account group, nothing but vendor account group, please. System is saying account group, we should understand, we should read it as vendor account group. So vendor group, we have created vendor account group in step number 1, that is MMI1. See, in number 1 we have created account group, vendor account group MMI1. So that vendor account group shall be given. So MMI1 to vendor account group MMI1. Give the company code and give vendor account group MMI1. Press enter. Write down very carefully. Press enter. It takes bit time as we are creating for the first time. Yeah. So maintain the title. Vendor can be company or dear or Mr. or Miss. Just dear. Name, nothing but description of the vendor. Nothing but the person from whom buying the material, that person name or shop name or firm name or company name, whatever it is. So just I'm taking, let's say I'm taking Mirage. I'm assuming my vendor name is Mirage. Next, you can maintain here street and house number. Just I'm taking it as business street. Some address, actual address shall be maintained here. House number or flat number, whatever it is, just say 3-1. Then postal code, some number I'm giving 50008. Any pin you can give. City, I'm assuming that Hyderabad. So give the street, number, postal code, city, country, obviously IN, India. If you want, you can enter region, post box number, postal code, language, telephone number, mobile number, fax number, email of the user. All details you can maintain. In real time, we maintain all these data. Okay, so just we have given title, name, street, and number, postal code, and city, country. I write down very carefully. Press enter. After giving the country, write down the notes. Press enter for number 1. Please do wait. 2. Number 3. Press enter for 3. Press enter for 3 times. After giving country, take the notes as press enter for 3 times. Here, you can give the reconciliation account. You can see here. If you have remembered well, we have created one reconciliation GL account. In step number 5, vendor reconciliation GL account. So that GL account number should be given. So click on this drop down button. System will, by clicking, system will show you the number of GL account. 2,03,000. Double click. I repeat. Click on this drop down button. So double click on the GL account number displayed by the system. Double click on the GL account number displayed by the system. Then cash management group, it is updated right here. Just to take the help of the drop down. Don't worry about what is cash management group. This is something related to the cash related submodule. Just take a domestic. Nothing but we are telling the system that this vendor is a domestic vendor, not a foreigner or some vendor. Cash management group. Give A1. Then on save. Click on save. Note down the number generated by the system to identify the vendor Mirage. Note down the number generated by the system. It will give you the number. It takes a bit time, please. Yeah, see, you can see the message, or you can see the number assigned or number generated to represent the vendor Mirage in the system. That is vendor 1119301 was created in company code MMI1. So our vendor will be recognized, will be identified in the system, not with the Mirage, rather vendor will be identified with this number, with this code, rather you can say 1119301. That means any transaction, any procurement or payment transaction done with the Mirage will be processed in the system using this number 1119301, because 1119301 will be understood by the system as a vendor named with Mirage. But the point here is we have created vendor master. Vendor data we have maintained related to with respect to vendor or creditor Mirage. And for to represent this Mirage as a vendor in the system has generated this number. Where from this number has been assigned? Where from this number has been taken, consumed by the system? Any guess?
Maybe the number range.
Yeah, we have maintained number range mm. Just I'll show you. /n xkn1. If you go to xkn1 from the number range mm, see it has taken, it has consumed one number. Okay, if you observe, system has taken number from the range 1119301 to 1119400. That is the number system has given. See 1119301. So from the number range system has picked up one number and it has assigned to vendor Mirage. But my point here is, when these many number ranges are available apart from in the system, so many number ranges are available, like IS, IT, JS, see those, all those number ranges. Why system has specifically selected a number from the number range Why not from other number range variant? Why not it has selected from K? Why not it has picked up from KO, KN or KI? Why it has picked up one number from number range? Any idea?
Because we have assigned this number range to vendor account group.
Vendor account group, correct. See, we have created account group. Just I'll show you. We have created vendor account group MMI1. This is the vendor account group which we have maintained, we have created. Vendor account group MMI1. Okay, just a minute. Let me take more time. See, we have created a vendor account group MMI1, and to this vendor account group we have assigned this vendor account group MMI1, we have assigned range and while creating vendor master we have used this vendor account group MMI1. I'll show you. /fk03. See, 1119301 company code MMI1. Sorry. Somewhere we can find here. Forgot it. Huh? See, You can account group MMI1, wholesale vendor account group. Is it visible?
Yes.
Right? See, what we have done is, while creating vendor mirage in the system, under account group MMI1, we have created him as a vendor. And to this MI1, we have assigned account group, account number range. And if you go and see the number range, we can find the number range. Which number range we have given, we can see 1119301, 1119400. Okay, so as number range has been assigned to vendor group MMI1, and this MMI1 account group we have used while creating the vendor master. Therefore, system has picked up the number from the number range and assigned. Understood now? The purpose of number range.
Yeah.
Right. So this is how we go with the various steps under vendor management. Not yet completed. You will have to see lot more steps, lot more configuration steps. Okay. So I'm stopping for today's session here itself, and we'll meet in tomorrow's session. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice time. Yeah. Thank you and have a nice time, please.